What's up guys, my name is Sharon and welcome to TRU TALK. I want to talk about something that is very personal to me, which is anxiety. And I know this is something that isn't always easy to talk about or fun to talk about necessarily, but I do think it is a key to be having these type of conversations, even if it's not the most fun. And so I'm gonna do my best to kind of guide you guys through it and make this an enjoyable time. First off, I want to start by giving a definition of anxiety. It is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. Anxiety is an emotion characterized by feelings of tension, worried thoughts, and physical changes. People with anxiety disorders usually have reoccurring intrusive thoughts or concerns. They may avoid certain situations out of worry. Even this definition has helped me to realize that I've been dealing with anxiety for longer than I thought. Even when I was in high school, there were certain situations that I would constantly be avoiding in social settings because I knew that it would be overwhelming for me. So there can be obviously multiple different causes of anxiety for different people. A couple of them include a big event or buildup of smaller stressful life situations that may trigger excessive anxiety. For example, this could be a death in the family, work stress, stress from school, stress from homework, or ongoing worry about finances. It is important to know that there is anxiety and there is anxiety disorders. From my understanding, the main difference between the two is that in general, anxiety is a normal reaction to stress, while anxiety disorders involve intense and excessive anxiety. What is an anxiety disorder? It is a nervous disorder characterized by a state of excessive uneasiness and apprehension, typically with compulsive behavior or panic attacks. What are the 6 types of anxiety disorders? First, there's generalized anxiety disorder, which is when a person feels anxious on most days, worrying about lots of different things for a period of 6 months or more. Second, there's social anxiety. A person has an intense fear of being criticized, embarrassed, or humiliated, even in everyday situations such as speaking publicly, eating in public, being assertive at work, or making small talk. 3 is specific phobias. This is when a person feels very fearful about a particular object or situation and may go to great lengths to avoid it. Panic disorder. A person has panic attacks, which are intense, overwhelming, and often uncontrollable feelings of anxiety combined with a large range of physical symptoms. When I was having my panic attacks as well, I was having that really intense chest pain and I felt like I couldn't breathe and I had this very intense chest pain. 5 of the anxiety disorders is obsessive compulsive disorder, ongoing unwanted intrusive thoughts and fears that can cause anxiety. Although the person may acknowledge these thoughts as silly, they often try to relieve their anxiety by carrying out certain behaviors or rituals. Number 6 on the list is post-traumatic stress disorder. This can happen after a person experiences a traumatic event. Symptoms can include difficulty relaxing, upsetting dreams, or flashbacks of the actual event, and avoidance of anything related to it. Everyone can experience things like stress, anxiety very differently, and I feel like the first huge step for me to dealing with anxiety properly is being able to identify when I'm feeling this way. Now that I've laid out the basis of what anxiety is, the definitions, the understanding of it in a logical aspect, I just want to talk more about my personal experience and understanding of it and where I think that it actually stems from in my life, or where I think it can stem from in a lot of young people's lives or anyone's lives. I feel a huge aspect of this anxiety for me has been feeling the need to control everything or wanting everything to go my way or be perfect all the time, which, as you could guess, is literally impossible. So I spend this time feeling overwhelmed by everything I feel I must accomplish to be successful or worthy of success. I've also been able to recognize that a lot of this pressure to live up to some sort of expectation that feels like a constant cloud looming over you can come from our parents, as well as societal pressures and standards. The list goes on. I've also come to realize that some of my anxiety comes from my childhood trauma that has at times made me feel stressed at any idea of an uncertain outcome. I have moments of clarity, of understanding that takes all of this unrealistic pressure off of me. But it comes and goes at times, so it's something I'm still trying to fully accept. You can only live to satisfy your own heart's desires and dreams or ideas of who you want to be in this world, so you know what is best for you. Yes, there are people that can help you and guide you and influence you in positive ways to be a better version of yourself, but if you do not firstly accept that you have to live for your own acceptance and approval, then you will continuously be losing this battle of trying to prove something to others and putting this unbearable pressure on yourself, which leads to anxiety and can even lead to depression and further health issues down the road. I have related this feeling to literally feeling like you're in a box trying to break out of it, but when you do get those breakthrough moments, it is really so freeing. And by no means is this everyone's root cause of mental health issues. This is only my story and understanding from my own experience, but I'm sharing it in hopes that maybe it connects with someone else so they can be empowered and set free from feeling like there's always something more they could or should be doing. If you are constantly working or keeping yourself busy in a way, you feel like you aren't successful or you aren't worth anything. I think a lot of the time, especially in social media, these narratives can be forced upon us as well, and at the root of it, I think a lot of these things are just a distraction. If you really were to sit with yourself and give yourself a chance to simply be without feeling like you're doing something wrong for doing nothing, you would find that doing nothing a lot of the time is exactly right. There's so much that can come from sitting with your thoughts, and as simple or silly as that sounds, or even journaling, or as I like to do, color on my iPad or write poetry. I think we need to take our power back and redefine our definition of success and take that power out of material things, take that power out of physical gains or even accomplishments. Put the power of success back into enjoyment, doing things that truly bring you joy. Even if your passion isn't monetized, or even if you don't share it with anyone else, if it is something that sparks light in your own heart, it is something you should give your attention to. It is something worth giving your energy to. With all this being said, if you have ever experienced feelings like this, know that you matter enough to address these feelings. You do not have to move through life feeling such a pressure on yourself. I also think sometimes with mental health issues, people want to keep pushing them to the side because it's not an exact physical illness, or even those around you could downplay how you're feeling just because they don't understand it or they can't physically see that something's wrong. And in many ways, anxiety can affect your physical health and well-being. As it has for me, examples would be like weight gain, acne, overeating, and other habits that can be prevented if we just deal with our anxiety and deal with the root of the issue before it leads to these. And this is why it is essential that everyone understands that your mental health and the health of your spirit is the most important thing. You have to really see your own value and worthiness of being healthy from the inside out. I actually want to share something with you guys that I've written in my journal from a few days ago when I was trying to understand a moment of having major anxiety, and I was trying to calm myself but also get to the root of the issue. This is my journal. She cute. A little bit of what I wrote. That relentless voice in my head constantly reminding me of all the things I still have yet to do. It repeats like a broken record until, if I allow it to, I feel completely overwhelmed, like I no longer have control. My anxiety takes over and I feel in a panic. As I write this, I realize that voice is not me. The voice that speaks now on these pages with calmness, clarity, peace, and understanding is me. Maybe part of it is not judging these thoughts when they do come, hear them, but say this is not my way. This is no longer the way in which I have to face problems or complete all the to-do lists in my head. There will always be something more to do. I must trust that all that is meant to be completed will be done as it should be in due divine timing. Slow down your thoughts, your breathing, your actions, and movement. Be here, be still, and simply do the next best thing for you. What does that feel like? Act upon that feeling. Be flexible to your own needs. Give yourself grace, patience, space, and time. Do not box yourself in or set limitations upon yourself with impossible expectations that do not fully acknowledge your feelings and your humanity. If you deal with anxiety, you know how hard it is to really just be. You really have to repeat these things to yourself, and I feel like that's been helpful for me. Be understanding of your own behavioral patterns to know why they occur and know how to move forward. Don't overcomplicate it. It's simple if you slow down, be, and allow your inner knowing to be free. The T. Next, I want to talk more about what has helped me with my anxiety and what can help you. As I just shared, a major thing has been journaling. It really grounds you and brings you back to the present moment. It also makes you feel as though you are in control by helping you to put your feelings and thoughts in moments of high stress into words, which can help you to identify further what is triggering or what events cause you to feel this way to begin with. Another thing, huge thing, spending time in nature and getting fresh air is always going to be something that is beneficial to your mental health all around. And when I'm feeling overwhelmed and I can feel my anxiety taking control of my mind, doing this has done wonders for me. More specifically, I will lay in the grass and close my eyes and say affirmations to myself. Like, I am in control. I trust the divine flow of the universe. I'm aligned with my highest purpose. I am enough as I am in this moment. I suggest, in general, saying affirmations that really click with you in the present moment, saying things that you really need to hear from yourself. So you will begin to absorb the meaning of your own words and really embody what you affirm to yourself. And I think that's magical. Another thing that I would highly suggest would be listening to music. I don't mean just any music, music that is high vibrational, music that exists with the intention of making the listener feel good and feel empowered. I'll link a playlist below that I've made for the purpose of helping ground you and get you in the present moment and out of your head. So if you want to check that out, check the link below. Now that I've shared some tools and ways that I like to deal with this sort of thing, I wanted to also share some knowledge that I gained online from the ADAA, which is the Anxiety and Depression Association of America. They've had some helpful tips that I thought would be helpful for you guys. They seem pretty obvious and simple, but I feel as though these reminders are very important, and it really is the little things that can impact you the most. Eating well-balanced meals, limiting alcohol and caffeine, getting enough sleep, exercising, taking deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling slowly, doing your best, I like this one, instead of aiming for perfection, which isn't possible. Be proud of however close you get. Accept that you cannot control everything. Welcome humor, because a laugh goes a long way. Make an effort to replace negative thoughts with positive ones, which is why affirmations are so powerful. Volunteer or find another way to be active in your community, which creates a support network and gives you a break from everyday stress. Learn what triggers your anxiety. Journaling helps with that. Is it work, family, school, or something else you can identify? And write in a journal when you're feeling stressed or anxious and look for a pattern. Talk to someone, tell friends and family you're feeling overwhelmed, and let them know how they can help you. Talk to a physician or therapist for professional help. These things can seem so simple, but what I've realized when dealing with mental health specifically and the well-being of your mental state and spiritual state, the little things really do go a long way. Giving yourself that time out and that attention to just relax or release, you are affirming to your own self that you are worthy and deserving of taking time out for your own mental state's benefit. It is truly an investment to yourself, a gift to yourself, and that is so powerful. If you're looking for more information about understanding anxiety and stress or finding help, I feel as though the ADAA is a great resource for this topic specifically. I'll link it here. I just want TRU Talk to be a conversation and not just me making videos and talking at people. So feel free to comment and continue the conversation. It is all directly linked and in alignment with our spirit and physical well-being as well. take good care of yourselves. This includes making sure you are mentally feeling good, empowered, safe, and free of confinement and anxiety. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at wearetrue_ and Twitter at wearetrue_. And if you want to follow my personal journey on my personal accounts, you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Sharon Bell with 3 L's. I'll see you guys next video. I tried my best. That's all that matters.